So Trump gave a speech at a dinner with Japanese business leaders today, and he's basically given up on being discreet. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, comment, share, because the insanity here, the stupidity, it's off the chart. Now, Tokyo allegedly has just committed to investing $550 billion into the United States. And Trump, well, he thanks SoftBank for their participation, noting, most importantly, forgetting about America, he got to play golf with the CEO. Play the clip.
Especially want to thank Japanese company SoftBank. I think Masa is here. Where's Masa? I played golf with this guy last week. He sank every putt, every putt. We played with Bryson DeChambeau. We had a great match. And the great Gary Player. Gary Player's 90 years old and he shot 70. Is that right?
Yeah. And we did 22 under.
That's right. We won the tournament. We had 36 teams and we won the tournament. And we didn't cheat either. You know, a lot of those teams cheated because I know how they play and they did not shoot those scores.
Well, I may beat him in the drives, but he certainly licks me on the putts. Man, this guy's sinking putts from all over. This is the stupidest conversation in front of Japanese business leaders that I could possibly imagine. Now, Trump, of course, also thanked Carrier for their investment into his big, beautiful ballroom. Play the clip.
And I also want to thank the people from Carrier here someplace. Where's Carrier? They were here. Just thank you. Thank you very much. They made a big contribution also to the White House fund. We're redoing lots of things in the White House. We're bringing it up to the way it should be. And you probably heard, I don't know if anybody heard about, we're building a little ballroom over there. People are loving it. Now they're loving it. It took them a little while to understand what was going on, but now.
Who are these people that are loving it? Now I understand Carrier will probably be putting in the compressors for all the air conditioning. Imagine you're talking about 100,000 square foot ballroom. The number of compressors, air conditioning compressors that are going to be needed. Thank you, Carrier. Now, Trump, of course, goes on and he brags about all the countries that he's visited, saying, because there's nothing like, I don't know, even assuming for a quick second, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that this is a great, great trip. Nothing makes it a great trip like saying that Joe Biden could never have done this. Play the clip.
We've gone to about 9 stops. You think Biden could have done this? I don't think so. You think so? I've been walking back and forth. Sir, we're going over here. It's just a quarter of a mile. Walking would be fine, sir. Oh, thanks a lot, you know. But we had a lot of stops today from early in the morning until now. But this is one that I was thrilled because I see the list of people. This is really a who's who, this list.
Yeah. Let me also be very clear. Let's even take Trump's word and say Joe Biden is completely out of it. So you're comparing yourself to somebody who is physically or mentally disabled? I'm not really sure that's the comparison that you want to make. Now, let me show you for a brief second a video of Trump having to actually be led around a room by the Japanese Prime Minister. Play that clip. Go this way, go that way. 2.5 miles he had to walk, right? In a circle. Meanwhile, Trump also spoke about how he'd be making the building permit process faster so that AI plants can build power plants to give them energy for these massive, massive facilities. Play the clip.
The kind of plants that are being built are unbelievable. They're far beyond anything being built in terms of your regular utility companies, which, you know, it's sort of an older business. So I congratulate you. But the beauty is that you start building immediately. Tim, you don't have to wait, you know, well, if we went by the grid 10, 12, 15 years, but the permits are fast and you open as soon as you have your plants or your combination of plants. Some are building it on top Some are building it to the side. Some are building separate buildings. Some are building in one building. And I love the idea. But literally, it took them a while to really, they thought I was kidding. It was so good. They said, no, he's kidding. I said, I'm not kidding. That's why we're leading China. We're leading everybody in this race. So we're with you all the way. And I hope everyone's going to do great and make a tremendous amount of money and create a lot of jobs under the historic trade deal with the Prime Minister that is signed today and private sector agreements that were signed moments ago. Will be increasing our commerce very, very much further. Japan's going to be investing $550 billion into the United States, and it's an amazing thing, and they're happy, and they're gonna love it. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a great for everybody. But building up
hard to imagine that this is the president of the United States making that. It sounded like a bad Dr. Seuss book. Some will put it to the left, some will put it to the right, some will put it up, and some will bring it down. But most of all, most important, is that you put on my head a crown. He kept talking about limited time constraints. Why? Play that clip.
But we're going to make it great for our workers and our economy. We're not going to take, honestly, when I say 5 years, much longer than 5 years to do things. I actually said to some of our people, I said, look, you have, on big plants, you have 2 weeks on oil and gas to get the approvals. And if you go nuclear, 3 weeks for nuclear.
What the hell is he babbling about? But then he goes on and he also speaks about the big bullshit bill, saying that he doesn't need anything else from Congress, nothing. Well, Mr. President, what about opening the government? Play that clip.
We got everything done. I said, let's get it all done. A lot of people want to do it little small pieces, like 9 of them, 12 of them. I said, put it all into one bill, and if we get it done, we're done for 4 years. We don't need anything more from Congress in terms of that, right, Scott? We got it all done. It was a little risky, but because if we didn't get it done, I don't know. Who knows what would happen with these radical left lunatics that we have to deal with?
Yeah. You know what happens? Oh, yeah, it's called the government shutdown. We're in day 36 of it. Yeah, I mean, what a shocker, right? Well, Trump also then goes on and he claims that Scott Bessent, I mean, imagine this bullshit artist that gets up there, and he's a smart dude lying straight to everybody's face, that when Scott Bessent goes on television, he soothes the markets every single time, which is why the markets are going up. Play that clip.
Bessent, you're doing a great job, Secretary of Treasury. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Great. How good is he on television? You know, he soothes the markets. I don't soothe the market. I sometimes disturb the markets. He soothes the markets. He goes, I said, Scott, go in and clean it all up for me, Scott. And he goes in, bop, 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 bop. And he's really terrific. He's done a great job. And I'm thinking about him for the Fed. See, now the camera's going, breaking news, but he won't take the job. He likes being Treasury.
Yeah. Listen, let me be very clear. He and his commentary, it's not soothing a goddamn thing. All right. The fact of the matter is that these companies, these big 10 tech companies, are making so much money that the 10, are driving the market up. Now, Trump, of course, goes on, because there's no commentary that can take place without him bragging about ending 8 or 9 or 10 wars. I don't even know how many we're up to yet. Play the clip.
I won't bore you with the facts, but we ended 8 wars in 8 months, and I think there's another one coming. I thought the one coming was a lot easier than the Middle East. We did great with the Middle East, but with Russia, I thought that was going to be an easy one, Ukraine, Russia, because of the relationship with President Putin. But that didn't work out too well so far, but it will. I
mean, imagine that people are actually sitting there and being forced to listen to this stupidity, this nonsense, pure lies. Now, he also explains that our military would stop being politically correct. Again, who's he speaking to? Who's the audience? Play the clip.
You know, we used to be Secretary of War. It used to be the Department of War. And then we became politically correct. We won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything in between and everything in front of it. and then we'd win wars, but we'd leave after we won. We'd go into wars that we shouldn't have been in, but then we'd just leave. We'd bomb the hell out of somebody and would leave.
Imagine, just imagine, you're one of these inordinately successful Japanese businessmen who are fortunate enough to have been invited to listen to the nonsensical rantings of the United States president talking about fictitious wars, his big, beautiful ballroom, talking about, I don't know, Scott Besson soothing the U.S. market. Don't you think maybe the conversation should have been about, I don't know, some sort of mutual benefit that he intends to bring between Japanese businessmen and American businessmen? When I say businessmen, I'm talking business people, women. But no, it's all about him. Trump then brought up the 2020 and the 2024 elections. I mean, seriously, how about just give it a rest? You won. Give it a rest. You can't take time backwards. Play that clip.
An election that was too big to rig. We had to get it. I would constantly say, too big to rig. Don't believe polls that were way up. Just, you got to go and vote. You know, when the polls are too high, people say, let's go to a movie and we'll go home and watch our president win. But I said, you got to go because we have a very corrupt election process. And you need that. You need borders and you need a fair press. And the press is slightly better. I'd say, slightly. But it'll get better. I think it's getting better and better because otherwise they're going to lose all credibility and nobody's going to be watching or listening to them.
Yeah. Let me turn around and let me end it this way. I want to end on one clip of Trump's address to U.S. troops in Japan, stationed in Japan, where he claimed that he'd actually like to be an admiral. Play that clip.
Thank you very much. A big hello. This is a special group of patriots, champions, winners. You are winners. Oh, I'd love to have your job. Your commander, I'd like to be an admiral. I always wanted to be an admiral, to be honest.
Look, let me be very, very clear. All right. Donald Trump doesn't understand the military, not one bit. This is all one big gigantic cosplay. And those who are around him, his enablers, who for whatever reason think that this is a way of reuniting America. We are so divided. It's not. And sitting there and trying to patronize our military, the same ones that he wants to throw out DEI, he wants to turn around and attack generals and admirals, as you saw with Pete Hegseth. None of this is funny. None of this is normal. And that's why it's up to us to put an end to it. And the only way that we put a stop to it is building a community so big that, just as Trump said, too big to rig. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.